Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. And today we are covering One Punch Man because this manga, I'm gonna say it, is fire. In fact, I'm so excited that I want you guys to vote who says this famous line the best. Get ready for some ultimate cringe.
Oh, boo!
Alright, let's make the cringe fest begin. Remember to let us know in the comments who wins. I'm kinda nervous. Okay. One punch! You cut out, bro. You cut out.
A few minutes later.
Wait. That sounds
Shut the fuck up!
I mean, got this shit out the fucking
Bruh.
Nah, Yusuf, you cut off. Oh, Yusuf's one.
Damn.
Harrison.
Wait, you want it in like a British version?
Yeah.
British.
Oh, what?
One punch!
Bro.
Coronavirus!
Oh shit, that was good. So yeah, let me know in the comments who did it best, and I want to thank you guys for voting yes on the poll, by the way. Bruh said your content is fire. I can only imagine how good your One Punch Man content will be. Aww, so nice. Taru said we need One Punch Man content. The last 2 free chapters were fire, just like Adil says. Oh, thank you. Shane Lewis says there are too many channels that cover One Punch Man, even though it's a mediocre anime and manga. I do not get the hype at all. Oh shit, Shane must like Black Clover.
Shut the fuck up.
Obviously, I'm kidding, guys. I love interacting with our community. So don't forget to leave a like and become a member of our channel to join our private Discord. And that comment about Black Clover, I was kidding. You know I'm the Wizard King of the Black Clover.
We don't care.
But before I cover One Punch Man chapter 156, I must explain the situation the story is currently in. Garou will be heavily focused on in the next few chapters, but you're probably wondering what's his story arc? Well, the concept throughout the early parts of One Punch Man suggests that humans can evolve depending on what is going on in their lives and how they interact. This is showcased with the many villains we see, like Crablante, who was once a man but after eating too much crab ended up transforming into a crab humanoid. Another instance is Vaccine Man, who was formed from the pollution on Earth. So essentially, one after another, characters are brought up and materialized from extreme conditions or obsession of a particular theme. However, we also have the case where extreme determination can also bring forth the evolution of species. In the case with Saitama, he was embodying the will of wanting to become strong, which gave him the determination to exercise, resulting in him consistently surpassing his body and mind limits, which ended up giving a result of being limitless. Garou, currently in the manga, is following the same principles of Saitama via a different route. Before Garou dubbed himself as the hero killer, he trained under the S-rank hero Bang. More or less, everything Garou knows about fighting is from a hero. However, after he felt that he had mastered everything, Garou went on a rampage and defeated all the other disciples. Garou beat all the other students so he could test his ability. This wasn't based on an impulse or obsession or uncontrollable desire. There was a will and thought behind it. This manifested in Garou seeking out S and A rank heroes to beat them in combat. He carried a purpose behind it, and because of that, Garou showed determination behind his actions. This is why Garou displays characteristics of both a monster and a hero, as he holds attributes based upon both ideals. But he has has to choose what he wants to become. The difference between a hero and a monster is two things. Determination is for heroes, whilst obsession is for monsters, where obsession is filling the mind with something that would eventually cause worry and then a loss of control. Determination is making a decision and then having a resolve not to back out of it. The two are separated by the level of clarity of the mind. They are polar opposites. So if a human starts to become obsessed to the point of losing all reason, they start becoming a monster. Whereas if a human is determined to fulfill their goals, they will evolve into something great, just like Saitama. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what Garou's story arc currently is in for chapter 156. We can prove this with an example. When Garou is a monster, he loses all consciousness and will on what exactly he was doing. He literally admitted this phenomena in chapter 153. But once Bang, his former master, brought back his humanity by remembering his past and cheerful memories, a part of his monsterization disappeared and he gained a sound mind to make his own decisions again. Garou's childhood showcased that he had no friends and the popular kids at school would bully him. They forced Garou to play a game called Heroes, where the bully would be the hero and Garou would be forced to be the monster. After being beaten up by the heroes over and over again, basically being oppressed by the so-called heroes of the class, it drove Garou from a very young age to think outside the box. Whilst normal kids would brainlessly support heroes against the villains just because of the status quo or the norm of society, Garou looked around society and saw the same problem. That normal people saw popular individuals and heroes as their idols and instantly granted them their trust and support. Whilst on the other hand, monsters were branded as something unpopular like Garou once was as a child. This made Garou notice and value the hard work of individuals instead, rather than what society deemed them to be. And as a child, Garou was always disappointed that these individuals thought their plans were sinister. All their hard work would just go to waste, no matter what they did or how cool they look or how smart they were. Just because of the fact they were labeled monsters or villains, they would ultimately be cast aside by society. Eternally, Garou respects the grind of gaining strength and more drip. He sees the efforts on both sides of heroes and monsters, but the monsters always end up on the losing stick, which allows the mindset of dependency on the heroes to exist. To fix this problem humanity faces, Garou's goal in this current arc from chapter 156 onwards is to set himself up as the ultimate monster who will triumph over all of the strongest heroes, which would force the masses to realize that the reliance on a system is not enough. Ultimately, Garou's aim is to become the #1 monster that would unify the world under his rule. He wants to unify everyone on one side by being the villain that destroys the concept of heroes, which will then make everyone feel the need to act and work together to protect themselves. One Punch Man chapter 156 begins with the continuation of the fights between Garou, Flashy Flash and Platinum Sperm. Yes, there is an actual character named after post-nut clarity, fam. Or what is it, post-nut depression? You know that feeling? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how he got created, from that feeling we all share. My monster got born. We see how Flashy Flash is getting outsped by not only Garou, but also Platinum Sperm. He cannot believe he has met 4 people in the same day that are faster than him, those being Saitama, Blast, Platinum Sperm and Garou. His inferiority complex kicks in, so he attacks Platinum Sperm at full speed with killing intent. On the other hand, Platinum Sperm deliberately lets Flashy Flash hit him to test the capabilities of humans and this new form. He's not impressed at all. He grabs his wrist and kicks him away. Platinum Sperm states, "Huh, so this is the best humans can do. Pathetic." We then see Garou and Flashy Flash go at it, but the Sperm intervenes, ganging up on Flash, telling him that the same thing happened to Dark Shine. When they got outdone by the very power they are so proud of, they desperately try to cling to their pride and protect it, stating that all heroes are the same, and that there is not a hero that truly wants to save weak people, punching him straight to the ground, leaving him unconscious.
Damn, boy, he's sick!
But regarding Platinum Sperm's remark, arc, the manga then centralizes on Garou's character once it's stated, because obviously we know this isn't true regarding him. Garou on multiple occasions has shown his selfless side, where he went out of his way to put his own life on the line to save the ugly kid. I mean, wait, what's his name? Garou called him ugly kid, I remember that. His name is Tari.
We do not care.
Garou has saved Tario's life around 4 to 5 times now, and because of that, Garou is actually the best hero in his eyes and is someone he respects. Tario, who just met Garou and he wasn't that nice of a person initially, he actually saw through Garou's rude remarks, viewing Garou as a symbol of justice and seeing the true kind nature he truly has. On the other hand, Garou sees his own reflection in Tario, where he suffers the same problem he experienced when he was younger. So when he sees these weaknesses, he feels sympathy and actually wants to help him rise up to be stronger rather than pushing him further into darkness. Anyway, I've noticed that in this video I'm kind of like, stroking Garou a bit too hard, but I'm just saying this is why Garou will always be the most dripped out, sexy ass. Just look at that artwork. He's the best written character in this motherfucking series.
Goddamn right.
Let me know in the comments if you agree. Moving back to chapter 156, only Garou and Platinum Sperm remain standing now, and they start to go zoom. Yes, even faster than freaking Lightning McQueen. In 13 microseconds, do you guys even understand? Like, oh my god, there's seconds, there's hours, there's minutes, there's, nanoseconds. I'm talking 13 microseconds. They made a dense structure of beams of light across the sky, even bigger and denser than the one they made before when Flashy Flash was fighting them. However, Garou with his new monster powers accelerates even faster and hits Platinum Sperm so fast that he can't even use his platinum rings to defend himself. This sends Platinum Sperm straight to the ground where he belongs. We see Platinum Sperm having cracks all over his body after just a single punch from my goat Garou. Platinum being twice as strong as gold and also being compressed in such a small and agile body, it created an even denser material and it wouldn't be that easy of a thing to break on its own, right? But Garou says, bruh, I don't give a fuck, and he disrespects him, sends my guy to the Shadow Realm with the same move, by the way, that Platinum Sperm used in a previous chapter about 3 chapters ago when Garou and Flashy Flash were having a conversation. This showcases Garou's skill of mimicking others' techniques to make them his own. He was acting all high and mighty to just be disposed of like everyone else's sperm, like my man loses the race like all the others. This reminds me of my childhood when my dad...
We do not care.
I'm gonna pass the video on to Harrison as he will explain everything we know about God and Blast that we all deciphered as a team, and a theory that you really need to hear, so make sure to stick around to the end of the video.
Damn Adele, I feel ya. Hashtag relatable. Don't worry man, I got this. I, Harrison, will take the video from here. As soon as Garou seemingly ends Platinum Sperm, Blast returns. He states to Tatsumaki, "Take my power, and we can strike down your enemies together." Listening to this, Tatsumaki regains consciousness but remembers something that Blast said to her. When the time comes, don't go expecting someone to come save you. And so she questions this imposter by saying, "Who blew you?" You'll be able to find me in season 3 of the anime, voicing Tatsumaki specifically. Now obviously this goes against what Blast had taught her, so Tatsumaki instantly knew that it couldn't be the real Blast, which is when we get a look at the fake Blast's face.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
His face is completely deformed. In fact, this shit has activated some sort of like hidden triphobia, which I didn't even know I had. He's got like no facial features whatsoever, and he's straight out of some sort of horror manga. What is this, Murata? Why am I looking at this? Now, obviously this isn't the real Blast. Duh. This Blast was actually God. Yeah, that's right, God has appeared before Tatsumaki. We hear this God Blast say, as he then vanishes. After this, an interdimensional portal opens up as Blast sees and yells out, "Tatsumaki?"
I'm confused.
I know, this whole thing is pretty damn confusing, but you know us. we're gonna go balls deep into what exactly is going on with God and Blast right here. Because this is why you need to join our community by smashing the notification bell and of course the like button. We need to know that you guys want more One Punch Man content. For example, we plan a video coming up soon where we go into detail about what exactly and who exactly God is in One Punch Man. So make sure you stick around. In chapter 156, it seems like God was trying to imitate Blast's image to lure in Tatsumaki, since Blast is the only person that she could possibly trust. God might be trying to take Tatsumaki's power by either tricking her and making a contract to forcibly steal her power, or by making a contract with her that would do more destruction than good, just like how he did with Homeless Emperor or Psychos. To add some more fuel to this really weird fire, we go to the next page where King and Saitama spot Blast as he comes through the dimension portal. Here they noticed him right away, but that didn't happen when God imitated Blast at first, right? Like, was it just an illusion? Obviously not. Then why is this the case? Even when Blast first appeared in this arc alongside Saitama and Flashy Flash, God was there on the other side of the wall, but they couldn't see him either. After Blast hands over Tatsumaki to King, Blast says that he's going to be back up in the fight, stating that he's not fighting alone out there. In this panel, King witnesses what lies on the other side of the dimension portal. More heroes. It seems like this God, or something else at least, is attacking other places too, and there are other beings out there who can act as heroes. This chapter has opened up such a vast door where it is quite literally impossible to comprehend what more can happen in this story. There's a chance that the #1 hero of Earth, Blast, is one of the strongest heroes out there, and I'm talking like in the whole galaxy and universe, as there are beings whom he could never hope to defeat alone. Whatever it may be, Blast knows something that no one else on Earth does, and there's a strong reason behind him keeping the Hero Association in the dark about this. You see, there's one theory that piques my interest a lot regarding this. I think that Blast serves as an observer between this God and the humans, and Blast might not be a human himself, or at least in part anyway. When his abilities were first introduced, I assumed that he can only open these portals in a certain radius that does not extend past the Earth, or possibly it allows him to at least travel only in one dimension, which he can use as a means of long-range teleportation or to trap monsters and other objects. However, it's turned out to be far more than what I and many in our community could have ever imagined. While we're still oblivious to its range, Blast can open dimensional portals at a galaxy's range at the very least, as we see him go fight somewhere else with these other heroes in the chapter. This would perfectly explain why he is so hard to contact by the Hero Association and is never around in the One Punch Man universe, since he always has bigger fish to fry. Now let's talk about some of the visual hints which might tell us more about Blast. Blast's costume is very superhero-ish when we're speaking traditionally, giving him a look that is very humane and trustworthy. Next, if you remember his powers, there's an event horizon-like shape formed over his hands, and then a black hole opens up, allowing him to travel through the dimensions. Well, luckily for you guys, our degree in anime bullshit science allows us to explain what an event horizon is. In astrophysics, an event horizon is a boundary beyond which events cannot affect an observer. From this point onward, nothing can escape it, not even light. You can consider this to be the ring of a black hole, since it is believed by many, including Stephen Hawking, that a black hole simply cannot exist without an event horizon. This also implies one limitation to Blast's powers. He might not be able to switch through dimensions immediately. Since it's a point of no return, there's a good chance that Blast can't use the same portal to travel back and forth, therefore requires time to open up a new one. This can be further supported by the fact that he was trapped in the dimension he travelled to and had to fight someone insanely strong for a considerable amount of time. From what we know, it only takes him a few seconds to open up one of these portals, so it shouldn't be that difficult for him to travel back. But remember, this only applies to travelling back and forth between two places. Since Blast came to Earth and almost immediately travelled to someplace else where other beings were engaged in a fight. To make it easier for you guys to understand, imagine that Earth is point A. The dimension Blast travelled to when he was underground with Saitama and the others is point B, and the dimension with the other heroes is point C. Anyways, the first thing I wanted to prove was that there are certain limitations to Blaster's powers, and that he is directly linked to event horizons through his powers. This could also signify his place metaphorically in the manga. It is possible that he knows about God, but he can't intervene. That is why he told Tatsumaki at a young age that no one will help her, since that's what saved Tatsumaki and possibly other heroes too from this god. This could also explain why he rarely helps the Hero Association directly and is almost never present during crucial times. For example, when the asteroid fell, Boris's invasion, etc, etc. Moving back to chapter 156 though, let's talk about the two new important monsters that have been created by God. The first one is the Sage Centipede, who seems to be the stronger version of the Elder Centipede and Orochi himself. The second one is the Evil Ocean Water.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me. Here too much raining.
Just when we thought that the S-class heroes could catch their breath and only focus on Garou, we have two more monsters who are possibly more blessed with God's power than Orochi. Fortunately though, Garou isn't a fan of monsters either and attacks the Sage Centipede immediately, and the chapter ends with this. However, we might see Garou and S-class heroes work together. It'll also be interesting to see how exactly Saitama manages to keep away from the battle this time, as he's been doing throughout all of this arc, as let's be honest, clues in the name, he could one-shot these monsters like always. I also think that these two monsters would have never been created if Tatsumaki had fallen into the hands of the God Blast. Tatsumaki is obviously a huge threat to everybody out there, and God clearly knows that too. Again, what is weird though is Saitama's existence. I'm guessing that God doesn't know of Saitama's potential, since he quite literally has no aura usually, and he and Garou are exceptions as they've surpassed that limit bar for humans which was mentioned in the manga previously. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, ding that notification bell for more One Punch Man content. Let us know what you guys want to see. But until the next video, that is all. Bye bye.